Good morning, fellas, and welcome back to Me Plays Games, where we play games. My name is Matt, and I'm coming at you with another Mario Kart Wii video. Last time on the show, Dash and I talked about the time trial world records in this game, as well as all the shortcuts and techniques used to get them. But there are plenty of aspects of the game that video didn't cover, because they only occur in regular races. So that's what this video is going to be about. For more gaming videos, subscribe to Me Plays Games. Alright, let's get started. First up, let's look at a technique called Shroomba. There are 4 tracks in the game with Goombas on them, namely the Wii and GameCube Mario circuits, Koopa Cape, and Mushroom Gorge. If you hit them with a shell, they'll die and drop a mushroom in their place. If you have a green or red shell and you're not in first place, it's a decent idea to go for it. This technique is most common on Koopa Cape and the new Mario circuit. On Mushroom Gorge, the Goombas are on the last turn, so you should probably be focusing on drifting instead of aiming a shell throw. And on the GameCube Mario circuit, they're in really awkward spots, so it's usually not worth going for. Here's something we probably should have mentioned in our first Mario Kart Wii video, the rocket start. Before the race starts, you probably know that you can get a boost by pressing and holding the accelerate button with good timing. In Mario Kart Wii, you press the button when the number 2 appears on the screen, but the timing is different in other games. If you're late, you'll get a smaller boost, and if you're early, you'll burn out. Next, let's take a look at target shocking. The lightning bolt, or shock, is one of the strongest items in high-level Mario Kart play, because it causes everybody who isn't invincible to shrink and lose all their items. If you get the lightning bolt, you can choose to target shock a player, which is essentially using it at just the right time so that they fall off the track. This is especially effective in the cave in Mushroom Gorge, since getting target shocked at the end will take you all the way back to the green mushroom in the middle of the cave, losing you a ton of time. As opposed to a pound of time. How much does time weigh? That's a Vsauce video for you. The shock is such a powerful item, in fact, that players will sometimes drive backwards just to get it. This is called sandbagging, or bagging for short. You're most likely to get a shock in last place, so if you're in a team setting, you might want to go backwards for a shock so that the other team can't get it. One way to play Mario Kart Wii is a clan war, where 2 teams of 5 players each compete against each other. Usually, 4 players from each team will race normally, but the 5th player will be the designated bagger. They'll be racing backwards against the other team's bagger to try and stay in last place to get the shock. The shock can completely turn the tides of a race because of target shocking, as well as everybody losing their items and most of their speed, which is why bagging is effective. Another thing you might do in clan wars is trolling. This is basically just staying a lap or more behind for the whole race, and using power items like stars to hit members of the opposing team over and over. Depending on the rules of the clan war, trolling and bagging might be banned, in which case any team that tries to do that will get a penalty of a certain number of points. Now let's talk about some shortcuts that we didn't discuss in the time trial video. First up, 2 shortcuts on Grumble Volcano. In the middle of the track, there's a rock that sinks into the lava about 1.5 minutes into each race. On the first 2 laps, you can do a shortcut called the Rock Hop, where you use a mushroom to boost yourself towards this rock, then bounce off of it to get further ahead in the track. On lap 3 though, the rock is gone, but you can perform the Grumble Volcano respawn shortcut instead. This time you boost where the rock used to be, and then when Lakitu picks you up, he'll drop you way further ahead in the track. Next up, Bowser Castle 3. The time trial world record here features what's known as the BC3 Ultra shortcut, but there is another easier shortcut you can do here. Instead of going off the second to last island in the middle of the track, you can go off the last one, usually with a mushroom, which is a considerably easier shortcut. Usually this is the one the players will go for in races. DK Summit has a double shortcut that Dash talked about in the first Mario Kart Wii video we did, but there's also a single shortcut where you only drive across the first chasm. This is a pretty easy shortcut for beginners to learn, but you'll sometimes see it used by more experienced players in certain circumstances. Delfino Square features a shortcut that once again Dash talked about in our time trial video, where you use a mushroom to go through the mud. There's also a double shortcut here where you boost across the water using this ramp, then chaining it into the mud cut. This isn't used in time trials because it takes 2 mushrooms to pull off, and you only get 3 to use across 3 laps in time trials. Next up, let's talk about blocking. Essentially, blocking is dropping an item like a banana or fake item box behind you as you go for a shortcut. This will prevent other people from taking it behind you. Let's go back to Bowser's Castle 3 as an example. By putting an item on the ramp for the shortcut, you can stop other people from taking it, or you can make them go for the harder ultra shortcut, depending on the player and the circumstances of the race. In a similar vein, there's also trapping. Like blocking, trapping involves dropping items behind you, but this time you're placing them around blind corners. This gives players making the turns very little time to react, and they'll usually get hit by the item if they don't see it coming. There are plenty of common trapping and blocking spots, which you can learn more about in Arkantel's video linked in the description. In most other Mario Kart games, when you're choosing your character and vehicle combination, you might want to take acceleration into account. That's not the case in Mario Kart Wii though, because of what's known as a standstill miniturbo, or SSMT for short, or standstill minifer turbography for long. When you come to a complete stop, hold the drift and accelerate buttons to charge a mini-turbo in place. If you're using a vehicle with a low acceleration stat, this is actually faster than just driving forward. The only time the acceleration stat matters on vehicles like the Flame Runner is when you lose only some of your speed, like when you run into a banana or get shocked. When you lose all your speed from, say, a shell or fake item box, you can charge an SSMT. Finally, let's talk about slipstreaming, or drafting. Essentially, if you drive directly behind another racer for long enough, about 1 second, you'll get a speed boost for a little while. These are common in clan wars, where teammates will get drafts from each other, and in 1v1s, where there aren't as many opportunities to get ahead as a normal race. In the last Mario Kart Wii video, we talked about how you drive faster in a wheelie, but that's actually not true if you're in a slipstream. Your speed is the same whether you're wheeling or not, and since wheelies leave you vulnerable to being bumped and losing all of your speed, it's actually best to keep both wheels on the ground. And that'll do it for this video. Stay tuned because sometime soon on the channel we're gonna have the first video featuring all 3 members of this channel, me, Elias, and Dash. We'll be talking about the speedrunning world record for Pokemon Crystal, so subscribe to be notified when that goes up. I'm also working on another video about tool-assisted speedrunning, and I'm thinking about doing more short news videos like the one I did about New Super Mario Bros. Wii earlier this week. Alright, good night fellas, sleep well.